All right. Hey guys. Hello everyone. I hope everyone is joining. I hope people is getting into the channel. So, tonight we have Nick. So, Nick build that builds with us tonight. We are going to talk about everything you need to check for. Basically, this is 2026. What is going to happen with the new machines coming on the market? What is kind of a hot right now? What people is looking to spend their money? So we want to see how to make sure that you make some money, because the whole purpose of 2026 is how to remap yourselves. 2025 is being hard so far. We want to make sure that 2026 is not. So Nick will be with us very soon. You see the little logo there, because he's the one right now pushing us through the internet. So please, this is a interactive video.
All right,
There
can you
it
hear me?
is. Yes. How
All
you
right, and
doing,
I can
man?
hear myself. So yay. Um,
Awesome. Awesome. I was just telling people that today we are going to have this live to try to make sure that everyone makes money for the next year with the new machines, new things, new advice that we can. I mean, we all learn different things, right? So over the 1 year of working with machines, and machines keep evolving.
oh yeah,
It's
all the
crazy, but this
goodies.
is an interactive live, so we need you guys to comment, put your question, put your comment. The whole idea of this is kind of a get it rolling with ideas, questions, and try to find something that will work for everyone.
Yeah, I sat down and started making kind of a list for stuff for the shop and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know where they're gonna go, so
Hmm.
we're gonna we're gonna do it on the fly.
Right. So I did a little bit of a list of things, because incredibly as it is this year, I actually probably it's been one of the years that I learned more about laser and laser business than any other year that I've been doing this, because we opened a store, right?
Right.
And it turns that half of the things that we wanted to do really were not feasible, because the people don't respond in the same way that people online, they're happy with a couple pictures, pretty presentations, and they want to buy it. But people walk into the door here and they don't even know what they want.
Robert says he's still getting an echo. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I just read that on the chat. Yeah, and I don't hear that echo.
Yeah, and I'm not exactly sure why not. Let's see.
There is on the settings. I remember there was a echo
I
cancellation.
have echo cancellation on, which should turn that off.
Huh.
Stereo audio.
By the way, how you doing, Robert? I think
We're
so.
gonna.
I see some people connected though, but everyone is timid.
Am I still echoing?
Come on, guys. Let us know if we have double Nick.
This is ridiculous. It's like go into your MIDI settings and
Yeah, I don't hear any echo whatsoever, but
all right. I'm not going to talk too much until I.
probably for Daniel and maybe. I mean, let me do something. Let me see. I mean, this shouldn't have any kind of echo really, because it's kind of a omnidirectional only.
Did that change anything?
I'm gonna check here. How everyone is hearing us better now?
Usually,
But you were hearing an echo on your end every time you talk, right?
yeah, which is
Say
no big
something for a
deal.
few seconds.
the fact that they can hear me too. Am I echoing now?
I don't hear you echoing. I think you need to talk a little bit more so people can hear it.
I'm just trying not to be too obnoxious if it is echoing. I am confused. I normally don't have this problem. So if I'm plugged into that, it doesn't change it. It doesn't change if I do this. No. How about that?
All right. Anyone can confirm how is Nick audio right now? Say something, Nick. Something that people would like to hear.
I just keep turning stuff off. Hey, did that work?
It's okay. Let's continue with echo. Say Robert.
Say what?
Robert say, yeah, it's okay. Let's continue.
Right.
He's like, okay, guys, stop it now.
I know I had so many problems before though that I was really hoping.
Yeah. So Nick.
Yes.
Lasers this year. You basically work this year with the same equipment that you acquired in the last year or two, right? Have you thought this year to implement something different, something new in your arsenal? Something that people is asking you to do that you don't have a machine for, that you were thinking this might be a good thing to grow a business.
Well, I got machines, man.
I know you have plenty.
I have several new kind of like additions that are not lasers that I think are going to be helpful.
What was that?
The reverb is trying, because I hear it too. I do something I hear it in my headphones. Let's see. So UV printer, the UV make. That's the new kind of jam. I feel like it's better than kind of like a cricket.
Oh yeah, no, that's for sure. Well,
as far as that goes.
I talked with one of the persons on UV Make. They supposed to send me one. They didn't. Then they supposed to send me one after they have these issues with the cartridges, and we were back and forth on the chat. We want to send you this so we can test it and everything. They never did. I have a lot of people asking me about UV Make. I have no idea how good it is and what is the cost for it.
They've been very, but there's been a lot of issues. The thing is, like, how come I didn't get one? Like, and I'm like, you know what? I just got. Mine was bricked for months. I feel like I'm making these orders.
Yeah, I took my microphone completely away from in front of the computer just to make sure.
Well, it's not like a distance thing, right? She's still doing it.
No, my microphone is completely away of everything right now, and inside my house.
Anyway, so let's see. So the UV make, it's once they get it dialed in, definitely game changer. Definitely want something like that in your shop. And then, somebody gifted me a 3D printer, and I have disliked 3D printers for quite a while, and now I kind of like it. It's just so much better. It's like so. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure this out. It's what I hated about 3D printers was like having to level it and screw with it all the time. It was always stupid. And it's so much better now. It auto levels. I have the Elegoo Centauri carbon.
Yeah,
and it's flipping amazing.
I mean, 3D printers definitely something that I consider that a lot of people should add to their shops, not necessarily to make things to sell if they don't want to. Uh, but I feel like it's something that it can help you to understand a lot of the process on creation things, also for helping you in different parts, because one of the first things that I did with a 3D printer actually was some hangers. Probably you guys are gonna hear better. I was just still holding my hand outside.
Some
Um,
fingers.
yeah, so like a hangers for the frames, especially with the canvas that has a wood frame and it's so far away, and I didn't want to have like the whole canvas with something really bad on it, like a whole nail and try to level it. So one of the first things that I did with 3D printers was this kind of a 3D hangers to put the canvas on the wall. They had double sided stick part and they work very well until I started working with lasers and all that, and everything was 3D printing for lasers. But I think 3D printing is something that a lot of people should get into because it will give you a better idea of what the maker world can be, not just the laser engrave something specifically.
I think everybody needs a 3D printer in their shop.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even just to do like the pegs, to put stuff on the wall and organize yourself with different things is a good thing. The UV printer though, UV printers. So when I was in China, I visited a company that does UV printing, refined color, and it is a very popular company actually in Europe. They sell a lot, and they also have like vending machines for UV printing that they're crazy. You can print like on the spot on the coin, on the phone, a golf ball, whatever, like all kind of weird stuff. And I'm actually getting one machine from them. It's somewhere in the middle of the ocean right now. But I was blown away with the quality of UV printing compared to regular, DTF or other stuff that you can do on soft and hard materials. It's very interesting. My only disappointment is with UV Make that they want everyone to talk about their printer, but the printer it seems to be only in hands of some group of influencers. No one else has it.
Well, that's kind of the point, though. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is there we're still beta testing it. It's not a finished product yet.
Yeah, and it's crazy because they're still selling it like it's already on the shelf.
Oh yeah, and that's the. I mean, that's where the problem comes from, right? Is
Yeah.
you're not getting you're not getting just get this out. They're making it look like a finished product when it's not. It's pretty. Yeah,
Right, right,
I
right.
mean, it looks good.
Now,
It's not.
longer is coming with a UV printer, just like the UV Make. Same concept. I don't know if you saw that at. Oh, I don't hear you anymore. You're gone.
Room with settings.
Oh.
All right, now I should be able to hear you. I this is I mean, every sort of testing, and no echo until I come in here.
Yeah, it's just insane. It's just really insane because now I see other companies like longer, it's coming with a UV printer, just like the UV make, kind of the same concept, and price range is about the same, probably like $800 less or so. Uh, I think UV printing is changing the way people can achieve different things, and the combination of a UV printer and of course the laser, especially the print then cut with light burn, is making things really interesting on the on the market. Leather patches, full color, keychains and ornaments and whatnot, completely full color. I think that's the thing that people should start thinking and focusing next year, because the consumer now knows that you can do full color in pretty much everything.
Yeah, and I mean, it's insane how easy it is.
Yeah, we did the color for the patches. We have the white patches, and we do the DTF, and we put full color on the white patch, leather patch, and then we just put it on the hat, so you have a whole full color leather patch.
Yeah,
A lot of people do it on UV, but I found that DTF works just as well, and is a fraction of the cost, to be honest. um, and it's been one of the main things that people is asking me a lot. If I go for the standpoint of view of a business, people wants to do color. And I think that's something that there's your camera playing with the focus, and that's something that you should focus next year, adding some sort of equipment that will do color for you in different aspects of your workflow.
it's visually appealing.
Yeah, yeah. Now, let's talk not about lasers, because I know that we work with lasers and all that, but there is a lot of tools that we need really in our shop to make our shop for laser engraving, ultimately to make our shop viable as a money investment. So, what tools do you use normally, Nick, that are not necessarily a laser when you're going to prepare stuff for your laser engraver
Well, that
or
was
something?
what I was talking about earlier. Is like I kind of expect a little bit more feedback from the community to begin with. Chris, if you could figure it out, you can let me know how to fix it. Uh, uh, it really kind of depends on what your product is. But we did talk about, like, I think everybody needs to have some sort of saw in their arsenal, right?
Yeah.
And so it kind of just comes down to like uh, what saw you want, right?
Right. I mean, definitely a miter saw can be cool, but they have limitations, because probably you are gonna cut at 12 inches tops. It's not a full slider. So then there comes the second problem is, okay, you want to have a table saw, but now you need the real estate in your garage or whatever your shop is. So I'm gonna say that probably getting a 10-inch circular saw, you can just put the guide to go straight and just roll it on the rail, will be probably one of the best investments for anyone starting, because you can buy big sheets of wood, draw and cut it to size depending on what you need. Uh, that will be, for example, my to go, honestly.
Well, and so that's like my thought is like I couldn't live without a miter saw. um, but honestly, what like most people need in their shop is a table saw. But a table saw is huge. Takes too much
Mm-hmm.
of space up. So um, if I talk too much, it gets really annoying. So kind of what you're saying, like with the circular saw, I would recommend a track saw, just because it's a little bit more expensive, but you're gonna get dead on cuts every time, and it's fairly easy to kind of store when you're not using it.
Hmm. Now you have a favorite brand because at that point I'll go to Harbor Freight, but I don't know nothing
So
about it.
I have I have a lot of Makita tools, mainly because I kind of like their battery structure. Um, but I have a Makita track saw that is. I have a Makita track saw that's battery powered, and I have a Makita uh,
Just the regular corded.
just that miter saw that is
Okay.
the exact same. Now my focus is fucking. Um, and I think my track saw is more powerful than my miter saw. I don't know why. I mean, they're both 30 or 36 volt, but the that that track saw, and like, honestly, I bought it because it was a little cheaper than some of the other ones that are out there, but it's like, it kills me how powerful that thing is. I was cutting oak. I'm building my daughter a bed, and I was cutting oak on my miter saw, and it was um, I don't hear echo anymore. Can you hear me? I can't hear anything now. What happened?
Yeah, I can hear you. What I did is I mute my microphone just to see if that helps.
Oh, hold on. So can I hear me now? So you're
Yes, I
muting
do.
yourself when I'm talking?
Yes.
How is that feeding back like that? That shouldn't do that. So you're telling me it's
Yeah,
not.
this is like going back to the early 2000s that you need to mute your phone so I don't hear your noise around.
But the weird thing is, then you should echo through mine, right? Do you have
I should, but for whatever reason, it's not doing it. So I'm just decide to test, send me a message and say like, you should mute your microphone and see how, if that works. And all right, I'll do it.
well, I did see that could be a thing, but I thought it was if we were both in the same room. Um, if you go into your mic settings, do you have echo cancellation turned on?
Yeah, I did turn it on. So it's supposed to be fine.
Well, if I don't have to mess with muting myself every time, I don't care. Um, it sounds bizarre, like you were echoing back from Daniel's channel. Yeah, right. But I don't understand. Like, when I was reading up on it earlier, it kind of said if you had two people with mics, but it made it sound like we were be in the same room. So I don't know. There's a little help thing on StreamYard, Daniel, if you want to look at it and if it helps you at all. Anyway, Makita track saw. So track saw is expensive. Everybody kind of bitches about them. I, for the longest time, did not buy one. For that reason, I was like, it's expensive. I don't need it. I uh, I bought one, but I was building a chicken coop because I knew I was going to have to just cut a ton of long, uh, flat, plywood and stuff like that. Night and day, so good. I cannot tell you how much. Like, the hype is real. Like, no shit. Um, I am dumbfounded at uh, how good it is. It's insane. So I would say, I mean, it's an investment, yeah. But if you're going to be cutting sheet goods, um, which honestly, if you've got a laser, you probably are, and you don't have a table saw, blah 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 blah. I would look into. I mean, you could, so you can cut stuff with a circular saw and a straight edge, and for the longest time, I did that, and I thought, like, hey, no big deal. Um, so much better. It's just so much better. It's so much more accurate.
Well, believe it or not, one of the main things that I did and I'm gonna brag. I I I tend to have a really steady hand, and it's mostly because I walk so much for days holding my big DSLR with a big lens. So I got used to have weight on my hand. So I'm very steady when I'm holding a tool and things like that. I've been doing a lot of stuff with just my little jigsaw, and I just go with that, and I gotta get into it. But we're trying to build in the back a little woodworking area and put some machines and some stuff, and that's some of the consideration for next year for us, having some like a power tools like a track saw. We have a meter saw already, and a couple like electrical sanders and every other kind of stuff around. But I think I think is that the majority of the shops, we don't, when we start with laser engravings, we don't think about the outside laser engraving tools that we're going to need to
Right.
actually go. We need a small sander, we need a tiny sander this, and we need a big 5 orbital sander. So those are the things that people need to consider if you want to be successful and kind of a step up, in my opinion, the game, because the quality of your finished product is going to improve drastically.
That's what I was saying. I was sitting on the shop and I'm like, man, there are so many. I was just cutting some keychains today and I'm just looking around. I'm like, there's so many little tiny things that I would have never thought of that I can't live without. And then then what I don't think about, and then when you and I were talking about it, is I don't think about the stuff that I already have in the shop. Like if you don't have a drill, you need a drill. All right, you're gonna need it for something. Um, One of the things, and I do not have one of these. Well, I don't have the cool version. Fantix makes a little battery powered like Dremel tool, and it's not that expensive. I want to say it's like under $100. It might be like 125. Um, but using that on small pieces for like 3D printing, laser engraving, anything that's got like burrs and little what's nots on it, so good. And like that's definitely on the list. Now I have a bunch of Dremels, so like I have the same thing. I just don't have the fancy battery powered one. Mine, I got to plug it in and do whatever. But yeah, I mean, just little stuff like that. One thing that I was thinking about today, and I have a million Allen wrenches just because they come with everything, right? Um, I Here's the example. Okay, my mic stand was like a little loose, so I just grabbed. Um, I wasn't sure which size it was, so I just grabbed a bunch of Allen wrenches out of my toolbox. Like they're everywhere. I have a set of Allen wrenches downstairs that are color coded, um, and they're life changing. Because I hate sitting there thinking, okay, like what size is this Allen wrench, right? And then there's so many of them, and they all look exactly the same. And you tell me which size is which. Um, so I know if I got to adjust something on the AP laser, it's the pink one. I mean, and like just life changing. So there's so many things like that. It's hard to pin down. That's the reason I was kind of like, and I honestly got to put my glasses on. I can't read this, but I was kind of looking for some community, like what they're looking for, because I could go on all day. I started making a list just in Amazon, just like going in and checking stuff off, and I was like, this is. We could do this live stream. I could just start listing shit, and it would be an hour long.
Yeah, no, that's true. Well, Chris is right on this one. He said I would trade in 427 spare Allen wrenches in one spare 10 millimeter socket.
I know, right?
Yeah, I keep losing that one too. I don't know where it goes, and I barely use it. So the color coding Allen wrenches, for example, for me is something that is a must. I have one set in my office at home. That one is not here. Here I have all the generics that I get from every other equipment. They're here. And it's almost in every drawer you find one.
Oh yeah.
The problem with the color coded though, that it happens to me in different cases, is when you have the color coded, depending the brand, because it's not like sockets, it's not like a 10 millimeters is going to be always a 10 millimeters in
Oh
every
yeah.
brand. Yeah, numbers are the same, they'll silver. But for example, the 2 millimeters, I have two different brands color coded. One is very very nice and it's super sturdy. The other one was a Timu one that was like a $3 for the whole set, and the 2 millimeters it was blue in one, and the 2 millimeters in the other one is white, and the blue is like 1.5 millimeters. And it was like I was getting confused all the time. So at the end of the day, I take all the colors out, and it was a generic one. So that's the problem. Allen wrenches is something that I cannot trust on color coding because they don't work, sadly. But yeah, it's probably the best thing to have it like that. Um, what machine we're using for engraving on silver or cutting it silver? I never tried to cut silver really.
Who's? I'm sorry. Somebody I missed that one. Oh, gotcha. What about use a machine? I don't, man. I don't know if you can't like aside from um like I think you're looking at like a CNC at that point. You're looking at like a
Yeah,
metalworking
cutting
CNC.
cutting silver. I mean, you gotta burn the crap out of it with a laser.
Well, like I like doing the brass coins on the fiber. And you can cut eventually you can cut through a brass coin on a fiber laser if you want to, if you got enough power and enough time. Problem is that I mean, if you're doing something for yourself, you're fine. If you're trying to market a product, I mean, like those I don't have any of those coins up here. Um those coins take 6 hours or something to do a depth map and all that stuff. And I'm like, at that point, it's, I mean, if you were charging a quarter a minute for that, I mean, somebody do the math for me on that. It's still obnoxiously expensive. Like I usually, if my machine's running, I'm usually charging $1 a minute, and depending on what it is. But I mean, uh, and it's and then the other thing is you think about it, and it's like, okay, one coin takes me 6 hours to make. Either I need 25 fibers in the shop all run at the same time like a fucking 3D print farm, or or it's not cost effective to make them. So at that point, we get back to the thing where you're not using the right machine. If you want to engrave, and depending, if you want to cut, let me say cut. You want to cut metal. If you want to cut silver, you're probably looking at something more like like a water jet or small scale CNC. I've got a little Makera out in the shop right now that I'm gonna demo because I really like making the coins. I wouldn't mind selling the coins at some point, but it's not cost effective for me to do them right now. Now this Makera is supposed to be able to do 3D depth maps. It's it's a CNC that's this big. The bed on it's like 8 or 9 inches. But that's what it's designed for, making small things, making small machinable parts and stuff like that. I mean, you can do wood and stuff, other CNC stuff on it too. But it comes back to the right tool for the job.
Yeah, and that's something I have. I have the same CNC. I have two small size CNCs, 500 watts and whatnot. Yes, I have a 50-watt fiber, and I normally when I do the coins, depending of the level of detail that I'm going with the coin, it will probably take me. I'm not gonna lie. I spend about 25 minutes to 40 minutes probably per side. So it's fairly
But
quick
compared to
depending how I'm
six
working.
six hours, you know what I mean? Is like that's insane. Um,
Yes, that's the problem. So that was a customer. They came. They need to learn a little bit on the UV laser. I was using the UV laser with him and everything, And what we did is we work on silver because he has silver coin that he pour, he makes molding and stuff like that. And he was wanting to put names or other information on it. So we did it with the UV laser. It was super easy, super quick. The fiber laser will do the same thing ultimately. I think you can just mark fine. I really don't think cutting jewelry, because I've been seeing people that goes crazy when someone, I'm gonna say someone, I wanna say when next to put their ads all the time, and then they go like, oh yeah, you make this necklace, it has the name of the person hanging on this and that. That's beautiful, that's pretty, but as a
It's a
piece of
piece of
jewelry.
tinfoil, is what it is. It's too thin. That's what drives me nuts about that.
Exactly. It's not even. It's a 2 millimeters. It's super thin. It's gonna bend in the moment that you throw it into a drawer. I mean, it's pretty on a video, but it's not practical in real life.
Well, and that's, I mean, and I don't want to just call it X tool, because like a lot of laser companies do that, like where they're like, hey, you can do this really cool thing. And I'm like, if you sell that, people are going to be pissed
Oh
because
yeah, no.
it's
There's a
thinner
lot
than
of
you think
companies.
it is. It's just, yeah. And so I think you get down to the right tool for the job, and hey, it sucks. Hey, I've got a 50-watt fiber laser and I want to do death mat coins. Um, yeah, and then like you start looking at, like your time into that, and it's like maybe you don't have the right tool. Chris says he's got a 30-watt and he does brass in about 80 to 100 minutes aside. Um, are you running a full depth map on it? Because I run a full depth map. And
Yeah.
when I
So
do
so
it,
and that's also the problem. I mean, how many layers you are running, because I personally don't run more than 256 to probably 320 layers, but I've been running really high detail dead maps that requires almost 1,000 passes,
yeah, oh yeah.
and those are 4 or 5 hours waiting for something to come up, and then you have all this cleaning to do to make sure that the coin looks actually beautiful. So the time that
Well,
I'm
that's,
running the machine in my time doesn't worth the cost of the coin on the market.
I mean, and that's where I get to, hey, listen, I've seen some. I say this, I never have anything within arm's reach when I need it. Um, I have a coin that I bought from a company that's I can't remember what it says now, but it says something about angels on one side and demons on the other. It's a coin about this big, and I bought it. Like I paid $60 for it. Nice coin. I don't think it's laser engraved. I think it's cast, but um, so people are willing to pay 60, $80 a coin, but if it's taking me just on the laser, if it's taking me, let's just say it takes me 4 hours. I mean, what's your ROI on that? Like, what are you getting back? I mean, like time spent, machine being used, when you could take that same machine and you could laser engrave freaking somebody's initials on like 55 pocket knives and sell all of those for, $50 a pop or $40 a pop because they're personalized. It's just, if you're doing it for funsies, you're doing it for funsies. The guys that do the Norton white tile thing on a diode, most of those guys do that shit for fun. I mean, that's just like, it's a hobby. And if that's your thing, right on. Totally fine with that. I will continue to engrave like 8-hour coins because I like doing it. If I'm not trying to sell it as a product, is all I'm getting at. When you
Yeah.
get to the business point of it.
Yeah, for me, coins is something that I do more because I wanna play with my laser and I wanna see
Exactly.
what happen than actually selling. When I do engraving on coins to sell coins, I'm not doing dead maps. I'm doing just the black engraving on the coin that take me 20 minutes to have the coin done and ready, and I make two or three of the same because there is an event or something like that. We did our custom pins for one event, and they were
Hmm.
all fiber, depth map, and everything. In this case, was 8 minutes per engrave, and there was a small pin, just a
Oh
tiny
yeah,
little pin. It was super quick, super easy. Actually, it was less than that. It was like a 5 minutes. It was only 30 passes, really quick. It has it, and it's the same height of a penny. Literally, that's what I look for.
yeah.
Put it on a little tumbler, jewelry tumbler, let it rotate for 24 hours. They come nice and shiny, and I'm done with that. So, and I can make those and I can make money because it's only 5 minutes of an engraving. But I do believe that you want to do a hay map on the coin. You need a CNC, a nice precision, small CNC, and just go and throw into the polisher. That's gonna be probably better for you because you're probably going to spend 1 hour per side, maybe instead of four. You know. Yeah, well, you mentioned diode lasers. Today I have a demo with a company that came to see another of the lasers here and testing the lasers and all that. So it's a pharmaceutical company that makes some equipment and stuff, and they've been using, and this is surprising for me. They're engraving on stainless steel. They have a machine that is about 12 years old that they're using, but it's a diode laser. Yeah, it's like a super high powered diode laser on a small gantry.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
that is an industrial grade, and the beam apparently is so compressed that I was very surprised. It was engraving on the stainless steel, blackish, but it was getting what they need. That ultimately was no damage on the piece of stainless steel, and this is for a part that was actually inside your body, attached to your heart.
Oh wow.
The defibrillator, little things that they put inside your body and the heart. If something happened, give you a little boost.
Oh yeah.
So they make those parts, and they need to serialize the numbers, and they're looking for a machine that is more efficient than that one. And this is what I always say. It's like, hey, this company has been running a manufacturing business with a diode laser. Of course, industrial diode laser, not what we get for a home.
Right.
Uh, probably 300 watts diode laser or whatnot. I don't know. It's the power of the sun in my hands, kind of thing. But here's the
Focus
thing.
distance is this. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, the sun. But the thing was, I was expecting them coming to say something like, we use an infrared laser, we're using a fiber laser that is too old, or
Right.
or something like that. Your dog on the back. That's awesome, and it's hilarious to see when people comes here and say, well, I don't want to get a diode laser because those are very limited lasers, and then someone walks into the store because they want to see another machine, another options, and understand technology in different way. And it's a corporation that has an office in almost every country in the world manufacturing this thing, and they use dialyzers, right? So it
Right.
goes back to what you say, the right tool for the right job kind of thing. Of course, different things. Personally, diode lasers. I use diode lasers for wood and not for cutting necessarily. Now I'm using one for cutting that is blew me away, but not for cutting necessarily, more for engraving because I really like the richness of the diode finish in the burn on the wood, especially bamboo. It burns so much better on a diode than on a CO2.
Oh yeah. Oh.
UV
Mhm.
laser in bamboo is just pitch black though. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, and I mean, and honestly, like I said, it depends on what you're doing, right? I want speed, and in order to get speed, I want like I need power, and because I want to crack out as much stuff as possible, or as many things as possible, as quick as possible, if that makes sense. So like when I'm doing keychains, yeah, I could probably cut those on a diode, and it would take forever. But I can probably cut 12 keychains on like the AP, you know, and the time it would take one of those to cut on a diode. My details now, I'm also not engraving, you know, uh, portraits on them, you know? So, I mean, it's again, right tool for the job, right? You know, I mean, hey, some of those guys that are using diodes are using diodes because they want the detail, you know? They're not, they've got a 5 watt instead of a 10 watt because the laser dot's smaller. You know, I mean, it's like, so like you know, like when I say I don't use diodes a whole lot and people get pissy, it's it's because I don't use them for what I want to, what I'm doing. You know, I mean, like I said, if you're doing Norton white tiles all day long, man, you probably want a very steady, very beefy 5 watt diode. You know, you're going to get better detail. You're absolutely correct. Now,
Yeah,
then you've
and
got, we've got then AP flips it on its head a little bit. Somebody's going to freak out with the dual source because now you got the speed of the CO2, but then you can come in and clean it up with the fiber. And I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of these dual source or hybrid machines. And I don't remotely say that AP like thought of this because there's other machines out there that do it. It's just that theirs is doing it like in a pretty efficient manner, let's say. But I know there's other
yeah,
machines out there.
that one thing. AP Laser is focused on the person that want to have a real shop, not just a hobby. You can, yeah,
Well,
you can, if you can afford that as a hobby, go for it.
right.
But they're thinking more in giving you the opportunity to make a business with the machine compared to just a desktop machine.
Yeah, 100%. And AP is well, we'll see if it actually happens, but they're saying they're going to put out diode.
Yeah, I actually, and this is something I don't know if you know that. Oh, I think I actually sent you a picture of it. I was with Tong Lee, that is the CEO, the
Well,
president of AP Laser, when I was in China. So we met in China, and we went out for dinner on my birthday, and we were talking about that. And I have one of the machines that they're going to be using for a diode on AP Laser. I have it here with me. It's the machine that I've been more than surprised on, not just the quality but also the speed of the machine, because I never cut with a diode laser. If we talk about 1/8 of an inch, the regular wood that everyone cuts, I really never cut with 40-watt laser anywhere over, I'm gonna say 14 or 15 millimeters per second to have a nice cut.
right.
I'm cutting with this machine about 20 to 25 millimeters per second.
Oh, wow.
It's cutting faster than my CO2, and I have a 45-watt CO2 that is not terrible, but it's cutting faster than that.
Hmm.
So it's very surprising for me that the amount of production that I can get on a diode, and especially this machine has a bed of 18 by 24, which is a
That's pretty
really,
big,
really,
especially for diode.
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna risk it and say that it's probably the largest diode. Because everyone else to have any other size, they add a conveyor.
I'm trying to think.
Um,
What was somebody sent me this is a long time ago, but somebody sent me a can you mute your mic? Um uh, like a large scale uh like aluminum extruded uh diode laser. Because man, I want to say
Tyker or something
no,
like that, like a
no,
wooden
this is
brand.
years ago. I was not a big fan of it. But I want to say it was 500 millimeter by 500 millimeter or something screwy like that. It was big. It was a big square. Or no, it wasn't. It wasn't a square. It was a rectangle. But I did a video where I engraved like the top of a
Tybok,
pitch.
yeah, Tybok is it comes with a diode or whatever. You're right, Chris. That they have a huge diode uh, bed that they are offering with a whole cover. Um, I have a couple people that I've been. We were kind of a playing online and see how it is. Seems that the biggest problem in that machine is because it's a semi-open frame because you need to assemble it on a table. So you need number one to build a table that will hold that machine, and it's too big for everything because it's basically a whole 4 by 8 sheet. So it's the whole thing. That's number one. Number two, the other problem that they're complaining is that the smoke escapes everywhere because it's a kind of a I almost tried to close it, but you can't because it's just sitting on top of something. And you need so many fume extraction areas that you need like an octopus holding the machine around it to be able to move all this out. Then the other problem that they were comment about was the speed. The machine move fast, but you need to use it for a straight cut and not turns because it's the kind of thing that is going so fast that you want to stop enough to make the turn kind of thing. So I don't know if they fix all those problems. That was on one of the beta units that it was, but I mean I kind of anticipate that when you see the video, you see the machine going like yeah, you say all right, I'm gonna cut this ornament. I want to make 300 ornaments in one single cut. You know, I'm sorry. I don't see that the reason to need to do that. I don't see it.
Did you? And I think it was called the Spider. I don't think it ever. I don't think it ever happened. But it was a laser
The
that
the
was
the,
like a
the roller that
single
was you put it
deal.
whatever in rolls on it.
Yeah, and it would roll over it. And I was like, that's a great idea, except you always have to have like a ridiculously flat surface to do that on. And it was just
So
like this whole like, oh, it'll roll all the way down the road. Like you can just do this forever.
yeah, that but again, those are for example those systems for me are machines that they're gonna be great for an engraving, but I don't see that machine
Oh, that's
rolling
not
into
cutting
a.
shit.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna to lift something, so you need to have the machine now lift somewhere in a specific straight to make it work. So I'm not sure. So yes, Chris. So the diode laser that I'm using is about 850 as well. A little less than 850, I believe. But it's like a 600 by 800. The one that I have using. That is the one that AP laser is going to be using.
I tried to look up that video, but I think I got rid of it. It wasn't a good video. Anyway,
Another another thing that I've been talking with people a lot of, and this is not to burst anyone's bubble, but I'm a laser person. I love lasers. I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought that I would have at my 46-year-old, I will probably already have a flying car. And the last thing that I thought in my life is that I will own lasers. But
right?
I think it's backwards. I have lasers and I don't have a flying car. Anyways,
True.
but here's the thing. You have no idea this year how many people approach me and says, I want to color marking with my laser. And I said, yeah, okay, let's talk about color marking, folks. So color marking, number one, color marking is beautiful when you do it for you because you don't care about the time. You can live with imperfections of the color and everything in between those lines. Color marking really doesn't really work. It's not something that you can just throw and always make it perfect. It's going to give you a gamma that you can repeat, but then you get a new sheet of material that you want to do the color marking. And today the weather is humid and it's a little bit cooler than what it was. So your color marking is going to be off. And tomorrow is too hot and your material is a little warm. So the color marking is going to be off again. So please, people, next year when you're looking for a laser, even though I love the concept of a MOPA laser, I really do like the concept of a MOPA laser and going with, the smaller color marking possible and get every other. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Black is the color you just like it. But you cannot pretend that you're gonna have a whole rainbow because doesn't really work great. Yeah, that's AP laser. So I have the unit that is on top of that thing right here.
All right. Sorry, I didn't. I've tried to add it in the thing. I don't know. It's going to pop up. Sorry. But yes, it is. They're coming out with an AP. Uh, they're coming out with a diode that's still going to have the same open architecture gantry system as uh, as the other their other machines.
And that's a bargain price because I mean, I look a lot of what AP laser does and what they have. I don't own an AP laser. And Tong, if you see this video, I don't own an AP laser. But one of the things that I noticed on AP laser is again they prepare the machines to be use and abuse,
Oh yeah.
and also the infrastructure that they built for the machine, and I'm gonna call it the racing bed and everything that they have for it is thinking that you are going to engrave a barrel. They're going to put a door underneath in all these things. So I think that is a great price for the whole infrastructure that they're planning to add on it.
Well, and they do a turnkey system with it too. So
Yes.
a lot of times when people see the price, there's a little bit of sticker shock, but what you don't quite get. Why am I still doing that? Is it because what you don't quite see is that you're not just getting the machine. Now you can go on there and you can not do the turnkey thing, and you could just get the machine. But a lot of times you're getting, um, I mean, like AP lasers usually come with like their own laptop that's already loaded with all the software you need and things like that. So they're really kind of setting you up to be ready to go out of the box.
And yes, I mean, AP Laser is a company that thought about, and they send a person to train you, and then you have the training online with a person too. You need they even have a 24 hours number that you just call if you need help. It will ring a couple times, and ultimately someone will pick up. But I mean, they do have a service that is it's a U.S. service. I'm gonna call it
Yeah.
like that. It's a
Oh yeah.
U.S. service,
What's up, buddy?
right? So I think that's the key here. If you are doing business and you want a business level service, that's what you're gonna get with them. That's the reality.
Right. Well, and so this is funny. The other day, I had to replace my laser head. I had some issues and still don't know exactly what caused it. We think it was actually when it was Ozzy's doing his thing. Um,
What's up, Ozzy?
uh, but I was basically not to get into the nuts and bolts of it. Like there was an issue with the laser head. I had to have it replaced. But I also had recently turned on the thing on your iPhone where it ignores people that it doesn't recognize. And so I called AP Laser and their techs were busy, so they had to call me back anyway. So it was just poor guys calling and it's just throwing him straight to voicemail. So he ended up texting me, and we took care of like everything over text. So I mean, they're there helping you out.
Yeah, it's hilarious because I think Tom is like me. He doesn't really sleep much. Um, but
He's
yeah, I have conversations late night, with Tom. I talk with a couple of people from AP Laser, well, Tony and whatnot. They really care about the customer experience, and that's one of the things that I like. I think one of the main things
You
that
stop
people
hitting
should
that.
start thinking, because if you buy a machine, regardless who it is, you just buy a machine. I think one of the main things that you need to always consider is what is the support that you have for your business. And sadly enough, we always complain about the price of the equipment and this and that. But I mean, service come with a cost as well. I mean, service is extra value on just the equipment. And if you are in a business that you're getting momentum and you're getting into a fast pace, you need that support,
Yeah.
because in the moment that your machine stops, you lose money. That's the reality. So you need that support.
Oh, 100%. And yeah, so I have, my whole thing. Um, I've stopped taking a lot of affiliate deals because my first question is like, what's your customer service like? And everybody says, oh, it's great. But like Makera, they better make it up to me. Um, they so for you guys that don't know, I don't want to be like when you get to the level that I am, but when you've done a bunch of affiliate work and people are contacting you, I just tell them no. Well, I don't tell them no. I tell a lot of people no, but a lot of people, what I do is I say, I give them what I call, well, I don't call my FU number. I just give them a price. Basically, I say, hey, you're like, hey, we want to send you a machine, review it, blah, blah, blah. And I say, okay, well, I, I charge this amount for a video, a dedicated video for that. And a lot of what I get back, well, I shouldn't say a lot of, depending on the company, most of the smaller companies like, but we're sending you a free machine. And I'm like, but here's the deal. Like, one, free machine doesn't like pay for my time, right? So I have to unbox it, I have to video it, I have to review it. And 90% of the time you get some machine, it doesn't work right yet. So then I gotta troubleshoot it, you know. Um, and a lot of times what they'll say to me is, well, that number's not in our budget. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Good to know. If your marketing budget can't cover that, your customers like you do not have a customer support system in place that will handle people when they have issues with the machine. So I do not want to work with you anyway.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I did have a bunch of machines that I got that they sent me that I never even put on a review and stuff, because or never work, or the hoops and loops to make it work was like not even worth it whatsoever. So I there's a lot of things that I don't publish, because that will make me look bad if you, even if I try to just tell someone, well, this will work. I did a review for one machine, and I told straight up to everyone, because they were pushing me to, hey, but make it. And I'm like, "Ah, I'm gonna make it." So I'll make the review, and I tell everyone, if you ask me, this is something that I will buy, no. And I publish the video.
See, that's
You
where
know.
so I've got a lot more jaded and stuff like that, in the sense that if somebody sends you something to review, you don't want to just bash it, right? You know, I mean, they did send it to you and whatnot. However, a lot of times for companies that will remain nameless, they've sent me something and I have, I don't even know how to explain it. This is what happens to me a lot. Company sends me something, it does not work. So what they're doing is kind of what Eufy Make did. A lot of companies do it. They're you're not even beta testing, you're alpha testing their machine. They want you to break it, which is fine. I wish they would approach it like that. Hey, we want to send you something as like an alpha or a beta. Um, one laser or whatever sent me. Don't even get me started in that fucking thing. Anyway, but what happens is send you machine. I am having an issue with the machine. It's not connecting the way it does, or like I don't see because you also don't get like there's no manual, there's no YouTube videos to go watch or anything like this new, right? Um, so the marketing person, whoever sent it to you go back to them, you're like, this doesn't work. And they're like, and they send you all of the marketing material they already have. This is all the stuff you already read. And you're like, yeah, I know. Doesn't work. And in my experience, what happens next is they send you to the techiest tech person in a freaking company who doesn't have like who has no idea how to speak to normal people because they're just that like smart engineering guy. And then they're just like, "Hey, did you
I
check your IPM with your
I
VPN and blah blah
do
blah?" And you're
have
like,
I do have a comment
"What?"
on the injuring mind persons though. I do have this story from the manufacturer of the dial laser, and it's exactly what you're saying right now. You talk with a person that for whatever reason don't have any idea how to talk to a normal human being, right? And the person, we were in China, we were having this meeting, and I was talking about their software, and I was just directly talking about the software. He should know, in my mind, he should know where everything in his software is because he designed it.
Right.
And I was just referring off the top of my head, when you go here, the software, and you do this, and his face was going like that, like a dog when you try to explain something, like sideways. And then he come back to me with a whole explanation why he did it. And I was like, that's not the question. And then he comes back to me again with a whole other explanation that this is how you make it work. That's not the point.
Well,
They don't really get it.
to your point, my thing is, I'm like, all right, like I have this small scale CNC, which seems really cool. So I don't want to like bash it too much. There's a problem with the controller. They're working on it. I'm not super worried about it. But I'm like, one, you went from fluffy, pretty, flyer material to super tactical. Like, you want me, this is supposed to be like a plug and play machine. So don't talk tech to me. Talk to me like I'm like the average guy, right? Because you're like, oh yeah, you know lasers and you understand how gantry systems work and blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, I do. But you know what? Average person doesn't. So if you're really selling this as a thing that you buy and you can just like plug it in and you're good to go, don't come at me with all of this like, kind of like, let's say business jargon that like you need to work through. I'm like, this is not it's not right. I mean, it's not like this is not plug and play. And I had the guy, the big tech guy, kind of suggested that it was my network, and I was like, I'm running like 10, 15 machines on my network. I'm like, it's honestly a little insulting for you to suggest that the reason that your controller doesn't work right when you even said it's in beta is because my network is screwy. And he did come back and apologize. He's like, he's like, I phrased that incorrectly. Basically we've just not had this problem before. So we want to like know like how stuff is connected to your network. Okay, touche.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that happened to me. I got a UV laser. It was on the alpha or beta stage. They sent me all this information. I plug it in and did everything just like the manual, just like I did with other UV lasers and other stuff that I have. Turn it on. Oh, there's no light in here. Try everything I could to go to the software. No light, no light. Open it up and start testing voltages. Is coming or not coming? Coming or not coming? Ultimately, it wasn't working, and all the feedback that I was getting back on the email was like, "That's impossible because we tested. That's impossible because we know that we send you a good unit. That's impossible. No, it's not impossible because this unit was 30 days on a ship, bouncing and bouncing
Yeah.
through the ocean.
Well, that was the problem I had with One Laser. I hate to keep calling them out because actually they kind of screw me over. But like they at the end they offered to try to like buy me off, and I said no. So I feel like that's maybe I should have said yes. But I'm like, just anytime there was an issue, I'd like poking around the machine like you do, and I'm like, every bolt, screw, anything that screws in is loose in this machine. Like it was just like everything was, and they're like, oh no, like our QA, blah blah blah, and they made the kind of like, and I was like, this did not go through QA because they would have sent it to me. There was screws missing. It was what was it? There was something that was on backwards. They're like, this should have never happened. And I was like, no shit. And they're like, but our QA. And then at the end of it, they did start admitting, they're like, well, apparently your machine didn't go through QA. What? Why did it not go through QA? I mean, bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, now it's important to understand that they said every company. I do have my own things with One Laser as well. I don't want to bash them more than I already did in multiple videos, but I'm still sitting here waiting for the machine. It's been a year and a half.
Oh, are
But
they sending
anyways,
you a Hydra? Ooh.
oh no, they're supposed to send me the first generation
No, no, the Hydra's the big
a
one.
year and
They're
a
going to
half,
send you a
and they keep
desktop?
and every when they come out with the regulars, XRF and everything, and they keep tell every time they see me in on an event or something. Oh man, yeah, no, we're gonna get back to you next week when we go back from the event, and we're gonna talk about it. Sure, buddy, I'm still here. I haven't moved because I bought a house, so I haven't moved. You still can send it to the same address that I gave you. I'm still here.
When I went
But
to the Maker Summit in Michigan, they had a bunch of One Laser banners up. And I was like, so I asked Blake, the guy put it on. I'm like, One Laser here? And he's like, it's a weirdest thing, man. They said they wanted to be here and everything, and then they just were like, hey, we'll just send you a bunch of promotional stuff. They just they had a booth with no people in it and no machine.
yeah, and it's funny because I mean they seem like a good machine in a way, but also I don't think they're completely upfront with people because they say it's a U.S. made machine.
I
That I mean, the rules for U.S. made is that you paint it because the area that you are painting is more than the 20% of the machine itself because volume of work, not because the components. So all your components, everything, absolutely everything is from China, or Thunder ultimately, but China, and because you paint or assemble, and that's the biggest part according to the law that makes it a U.S. made brand.
right.
And that applies to anything. I mean, Harley Davidson, though. Harley Davidson, the majority of the parts are between China and Japan, and then you have the leather and the assembly of the frame that is made here, and because volume of parts makes it a US made
Right.
motorcycle, which is not. It's weird. Exactly, it's US made or US assembled. That's the right word, Chris. And they're not being super upfront in my opinion with those things, but ultimately every
Well,
laser almost it comes from China. I
and I
mean, we
can't
don't have many options here.
with and again, like I don't really actually, since we're already talking about One Laser, might as well. But the thing is, I've gotten so many different stories about their origin and this and that because supposedly a bunch of guys that like used to work at Thunder decided to make their own thing, but then my understanding is they're still kind of owned by Thunder. So I'm like, is that just like your kind of tagline? And then I guess like Actually, I don't want to say too much because I don't know if it's true, but I've heard the CEO or whatever is works for another company and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, but I'm like, get your story straight. If you're gonna put a truthful or lie story out there, just make sure everybody knows the same thing, because I'm getting different stories from everybody, including your salespeople.
Yeah, that is true. So Nick, for next year, what CO2 laser would you recommend?
Well, I'm sticking with AP only because I know it's a selling machine. Um, I just there's certain things that I just need to fucking work, right? And the thing is, I have had, truth be told, I would say a half dozen issues with with the the SN 4024, the AP laser I have, which kind of, I would say, oscillate between like kind of minor to kind of major. You know what? Every time, troubleshooting has taken absolutely no time. Getting replacement parts was always super easy, and like I really have not been without a machine for very long. And I I can't beat that right there. Now, I've not worked with every company out there. I'm not saying that other companies don't do that. It's just that ever since I've been like kind of in their little family, I've always been taken care of. So my argument is, hey, they may not be making like innovations as fast as everybody else, but I know I'm going to be taken care of. So I really haven't been, I really haven't checked out a whole lot of other CO2 machines. I can say this. I think Epilogue makes a great machine. Every Epilogue salesperson I've met has treated me like I'm such a fucking piece of shit that I will never buy a fucking Epilogue machine. I don't care how good they are. Uh, Full spectrum. I don't know what they're doing. Ion. I think Ion's doing it right. I think they've got some great machines out there. I I really appreciate everything they do. They do. They've literally built like their own laser ecosystem in Florida. So they manufacture and make. You want to talk about made in the USA? Like I think it's like 90% of their units are made there. It's over 75.
Yeah, and their customer support is actually I'm gonna say AP laser great though. I met a
I
couple of the
believe it.
people that they ship out to different places, to fix machines and ship next day bunch of different stuff if you need repairs and everything. So I believe Ion Laser is doing the right thing as well. AP Laser, I know the infrastructure. I do not own AP Laser, but I know a bunch of the infrastructure. I hang out a lot and talk a lot with Tong, and they invited me to the last AP Laser Con, so I got to play a little bit with the machines and understand the build of the machine, and they aren't cheap, number one, but also they are not built cheap either. It's a machine that I was surprised when I was talking with a lot of the people from AP Laser that they have a machine for over 12 years, 15 years,
Oh yeah,
and AP Laser still support the machine.
you still support it, and the thing is, like, you can uh, if you upgrade with them, they'll take your old machine. I mean, they refurb it, but a lot of times they'll give you a deal because you had another one of their machines, and I mean, like it's not it's self-serving in the sense that they're going to take the machine that you had before, they're going to refurb it, they're going to sell it again, or they're going to use parts for it. But it was the same thing when you turn on your iPhone, right? I mean, but they have deals like that. Like once you're a customer, they want to keep you as a customer. So and just from like a sales background, thing is, yeah, when you're selling a high dollar product and you get somebody to buy it, oh, you want two things to not happen. You want one, them not to badmouth your product, and two, you don't want them to leave because you want them to buy more stuff from you. So I mean, that's the nature of sales and business. But they make a really solid machine and they back it up with their customer support because they don't want you to go someplace else, which, like I said, is the reason that I don't really have I don't really have any reason to look for like other CO2s other than, I guess, I mean, to try to kind of help out the community. But most of the small CO2s I've seen, when I say small, I mean plastic. I don't recommend them. I'm sorry. I've recommended products in the past that I do not back now. I don't. I feel bad because somebody bought that because I told them to. So I like.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely. Uh, for me, CO2 lasers. Uh, I've been actually, and this is on the low budget CO2 laser, but at the same time, I was really surprised about the quality of the lasers because I was skeptical how it will be. I was expecting a lot of plastic,
Mhm.
but the machine turns out to be a lot of steel and a lot of aluminum, which was surprising for me. Was Montport.
Really?
Uh, yeah, Montport for me was something that.
Are they still screwing with their controller boards or whatever?
Well, the control boards actually are Rita control boards, I believe. Um, and yeah, they're supporting. They just released a new control board lately with a new update on the one that I have. So I have the Montport Reno series. So I have the 45. That is a smaller CO2. You can put it on the top. You still need your external water cooler and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
Newer
anything like that you're
CO2s.
going to.
Yeah,
I mean,
newer
imagine the
CO2s are
size of a
coming with a little
CO2.
pump. Yeah, but honestly, I have it for a little bit over a year and a half, 2 years almost. When they first launched the Reno series, and dude, that thing is super easy to use. It's probably as easier as the whatever diode that you buy. Really,
Really?
it's super super simple. I was very surprised about it, and I mean, buying a 45 watt for me was more than enough to get that. Uh, this is a 45 watt CO2 laser for under $1,800.
I'm sorry, what?
Sorry, under
1800?
yeah, under $1,800.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, who can buy right now for $1,800 a CO2 laser? You know what I'm saying? The price is incredible. So if you want to do things like that or whatever, you can just go check on Montport. And also, you put my no my name there. You put the live pixel over whatever discount they have. Normally, they discount it again. I don't know if that will work for Black Friday though, because sometimes Black Friday they block the codes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been using the Montport really a lot. Is again is under 2,000, $1,800
So
machine.
can you run Library on it?
Yeah, everything is Libern. Everything is Libern with them. Now they released a new update on the machine a few months ago. Now they have a camera. You need a camera. I personally don't like the camera with Libern because it's a waste of time. The calibration, bare thickness, and all that kind of. So if you are like, oh no, you have a camera, forget about it. Then the other part is out of focus. I don't want to be putting stuff under. They have a system that is It's ridiculously easy. Imagine that you have a little plunger, right, on the bar. So you
Right.
push it out. When you move the honeycomb up, the plunger just snap up. You're in focus. That's it. You don't need to worry. I mean,
That was so I spent so much time without a camera that when I had it, like once I got a camera, it was so foreign to me that I don't like it. I don't like it. But I do like I will say the dual sources that AP is like just came out with. Well, it's got a camera in there, uh it auto levels and it measures your shit. So that's nice.
yeah, no, I'm very happy with that. Diode lasers. If I will recommend right now anyone a diode laser, I'm going to recommend the same diode laser that AP Laser is using as a module over their cabin. They're using Alien Cell laser. I feel like that is a machine. Yeah, I saw that coming. That's awesome. 3 years. I mean, the D1 was a that's
It,
a workhorse for what it was.
the D1 is I would say I mean well I guess they're not supporting anymore, but the D1 is a
I do.
beast. The D1 was a beast. Especially
Yeah,
when everything else was just
I
like
still support. I still sell lenses and everything for it. I drag chains and whatnot. But
it was just
right
like
now,
when everybody else was making like just extruded aluminum, X-Tool made it pretty, and they made it beefy. They made it like you didn't feel like you're gonna break it all the time. Like my first laser ever was an Erturb Laser Master Pro 2, I think. And it was really cool, but there was so much exposed wire and everything all the time that I was like, I'm gonna break something. Like something's gonna fall. Like something's gonna happen. No, I just too much.
yeah, yeah. No, I start with I have a Ortur Pro 2, the Laser Master 2. I have a 2 3s that time, like a small 5 watt. I have the D1 5 watt, the D1 10 watt, the D1 20 watt, and so on and so forth. Um, they're good machines, but now with technology, people is looking for something that you just throw inside the machine and the machine does it for you.
Oh
And
yeah,
I understand that concept because you don't wanna deal with that. And the problem is that
that's
how
why
many
I'm down with the
people.
Elegoo, baby, because that thing
Yeah,
just auto
yeah.
levels and print shit. Ah,
That's exactly what it is. You just put it in there, it will work. But at the same time, it's taking away the part that I learned how to work with a laser if something goes wrong. And
oh
that's
yeah.
how it is. Uh, Diode lasers, for me, the way to
What's
go
up,
with
no
diode
knock,
lasers was for the
Jamie?
longest Rolly. I used Rolly
So
automations. That was a good laser with Leo. Sadly, Rolly's out of the business. Leo
what?
announced a few. Yep, Leo announced a few
Oh
months
shit!
ago that he's not manufacturing more lasers. He's not going to be moving
I knew it was
lasers
hard
anymore.
for him to be putting them out. Shit, that's my go-to diode. When people ask me for a diode, like a diode laser recommendation, that is who I point them to because those machines were so good. Just the fact that they like listened to community and did whatever. What is that? Oh, you're pointing to.
That's my Rolly. There's my Rolly. It's in the shop. It's still
I
working.
I have one in the basement. I see the basement. Everybody's like, "Oh, the basement." I'm like, "It's on our craft room." I just don't like. I haven't fired it back up, but that's honestly the only diode laser I still have. I've given them all away. The
But
other day, dude, check
look,
this out. I got to
I
mute you
met
because you got.
with Leo in China. We went out for dinner, and a couple of days after, we met with Leo and Rizo, which is the guy that is basically showing everything on Alien Cell, the other dial. So I actually got to see these two together,
Oh,
and
that's
let's talk
cool.
laser. So we were just having it, and I'm releasing that video tomorrow night. Is going that video when we have a sit down and we talk Leo from Rolly and Rizo from Aliencel about how they fix some things in the industry. I mean, that's kind of a unique scenario, right? Two different companies trying to get together to figure something out. But we finished the video with Leo saying, I mean, this is the next thing on laser with diode lasers. I mean, if I'm gonna recommend a laser, it's gonna be this laser, you know.
Alien cell, really?
So yeah, yeah. I mean, he was really impressed with what is coming on this machine and what the machine is doing. I have the unit for a few months actually, and it's
I have
been
to say,
flawless. I mean, I have a couple issues here and there, but it's a beta.
I have to say, Alien Cell has never contacted me, and I'm not bitching, but what I'm saying is, I'm like, Alien Cell has never contacted me. They've never really been on my radar. So, I mean, what you're saying sounds legit. Like, I don't know, any different. I've vaguely heard of them, but I mean, there's a million diode companies out there now.
There
It's
is.
interesting to hear that Leo would would endorse them if they didn't suck, or I mean, if they did suck. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it was very, very, very interesting to have Leo actually seeing, playing with the machine, understanding the technology, talking about the new suppliers that are supplying the new diode laser for the new generation of all this. So
You
it
mean the
was
one
very,
company that's
very, very
providing for
cool.
everybody?
Yeah, I'll talk with someone, but no. Yeah, I'll let you know. But no, definitely, it's definitely something that if someone Andy, yes and no, it's a family thing,
Yes,
health related, but that's a whole different topic that I try to reserve because it's not for me to say or publish.
yeah, it's not our fucking.
um Right. But yeah, I mean, Leo was probably one of for me the cornerstones on the dial laser because he actually did everything that people were needing with right. You said it too with the people were needing with dial laser. We want something to put the honeycomb in the
Oh,
place. He has it. We want something to make sure that our rotary will work.
right.
He has it. We need this. He did it. So he evolved the machine, and that's the same thing that that's the same thing that Alistair is actually doing. we
Good.
we are evolving the machine with many things and many changes and interactions. And for the people that are backers, the last thing that I heard, and this is, please don't quote me on that, but it's the last thing that I heard, is that they still on date to start sending the machine for the backers.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, so
So
it's they're doing another Kickstarter type situation.
yeah, they did a Kickstarter that ends a few months ago. They say that they will start shipping in mid December, end of December, something like that. Last time I heard, they still are on track on it, but I'm not sure how that's changed. It's been a month or so. But I did went to the manufacturing facility that they are building for this company, and they're putting all the people that is going to work, the tables and everything. I did went to the corporate office where they're developing. I did went to the testing labs and everything. I mean, I visited the whole place, talked with the people. I worked there with them for a few weeks uh, on
Oh,
a
this
regular nine to
is this
five,
the thing they were
nine
like
to
you
six.
should you might have to sign an NDA for?
Yeah, I actually have one, and I actually have a contract too to help and develop some other stuff on the machines.
Oh, sweet.
Uh, but I mean, they're doing the right thing in my opinion. And it's like I don't work with Montport like in Montport infrastructure for
Right.
nothing. But it's a machine that I'm highly impressed with what they achieve for the price that they are asking for it. And the same happened with me in ConMaker or ConMarker. I don't know how you say that. It's ConMaker or ConMarker because it
I
can
don't
apply
know.
for
How
both.
do you pronounce oh shit, what was the one? I can't remember it now.
Geekweek.
That
Geekweek.
one, Skiwiki or whatever. Because it's like
Yeah.
everybody's pronounced it one way for the longest time, and they came out and they're like, "Yeah, it's Jawiki or something." It's way off from what everybody was saying. I'm like, well, hey, when you email me and you're like, I want you to rep like one of my machines, phonetics. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that will help us because I say the wrong name of so many things so many times, and especially me that I'm between dyslexia and kind of an idiot sometimes when I read stuff. But
Oh, like lighting.
oh
This is so stupid, but I'm just thinking about this because these lights I have up here suck. But I got them from Newer. The company's name is spelled Neewer, which would be Newer. That's not how they pronounce it. It's Newer. I'm like, that's not Newer, dude. It's just not. That's not how it's pronounced. Anyway, sorry.
yeah, no, it's kind of so Code Marker have the same thing. I mean, when I got my first UV laser from Code Marker, uh, for me was very. I would love to go to the manufacturer and put together my own machine. And actually, when I was there, I mentioned that to them, and I was telling them, let's assemble a machine. I put one machine together, and I accidentally will put something extra that no one needs to have in their box. But they were like, we're not ready for that. But like, here's the electric power tool that I used to assemble back to the United States.
At least it's
But
not your DNA, dude.
right. But yeah, come marker, for example, the average UV laser at that time was $6,000 minimum, on a random company, not even a brand company, or even more. And they come with a machine on about $3,500, $4,000, and I was like, how you are shaving almost $2,000 of market, where everyone else is so high up. So I got my hands on one, and I start playing with it. It's the laser that I use the most, besides my CO2 and my alien cell. Acrylics, glass, everything in between. Is that gone market I got a couple of years ago, and now I have the Omni X, which is one of their newest. But
So is that IR fiber like
no, it's a UV.
UV? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and
The
it's
way we
probably the machine
designate
that makes the
lasers is
most money.
ridiculous.
So if my opinions of the X2 UV, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a little bit of a
Wait, so are we talking
what is the
about
word, like.
the F1 Ultra 2 or F2
So they
Ultra
just released
1,
they just released a new X2 UV, the F2 Ultra
the
UV.
orange one?
Yeah, 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 yes,
Oh,
and
hold on. The orange one.
yes,
Okay, just check.
yes, yeah. But I mean, I have this thing. X2 wants a lot of people to be claiming in every single corner of the world that they are the best, the greatest, or whatever. But they don't want necessarily to put the effort to be the best, the greatest, or whatever. They just focusing a lot on releasing a lot of machines to cover everything in the market. Um, their customer support for me is never worked.
Shit.
I bought my own machines, and they
I
never
really
send
got
me.
tired of doing their it's like honestly the reason and the the checks were nice. And I I think I think their machines are solid. But I was doing so much tech support for them because
Their machines
nobody
are not bad, but are not the greatest because the tech support is something that you need always to have it there. Their software, though, in the beginning, their software sucks. Now their
the software is
software, I'm
pretty
gonna
fucking
say that
good
is
now.
very good.
I will say
It's
this.
pretty good.
I would I would never well I, I would never not learn Lightburn though. Because the thing is, I guess what people don't realize, it's kind of it's Glowforge-esque in the sense that it's like, oh hey, no, use our proprietary software because then you're going to be an idiot if any other machine comes up that's not ours. And I think it's horseshit. I do say that their software in some applications for some, things that you're using, especially like the depth mapping and stuff like that, actually pretty good. But the whole time I was repping them, and I honestly will say, one of the companies that I really did was way more passionate about them. What was so irritating is that instead of fixing their shit, they come out with a new product. And it wouldn't have been so bad, but what they would do is they came out with like the D1, and then they came out with the D1 Pro, and they did that in like a year span. And in that same year, they stopped supporting the D1 and only supported the D1 Pro. So if you bought a D1 and anything went wrong with you were fucked after a year. You can't do that to people, man. You can't expect them. I appreciate you're always coming out with new stuff and whatnot, but you gotta support your old stuff. You can't do that. You can't expect somebody to drop $1,000, $2,000, whatever on something, and then a year later be like, nope, sorry. If it doesn't work for you anymore, you gotta buy a new one. Dick. And that's when I
Yeah,
was like, I'm out.
that's a problem that a lot of cases happens. For
Oh, and that
for
whole
me
having to
goes with
sign
that.
a thing.
Right. For me goes with that in a way. And I'm part of the Excel squad. Don't get me wrong. I have demos here with some other machines and stuff. But Excel never sent me a machine. Every machine that I use, even for the demos or whatever, are being completely paid out of my pocket. So compared to other people that make money off whatever they send it or whatever, they were actually I pay
That's me.
off pocket, right? I paid off pocket, but at the same time, I'm happy that I did it because when I say this machine sucks, I have all the rights to say it and not
See,
someone pointing at me.
no, and that's okay. That's where I want to be with all things now. Because like I said, somebody sends you something, you don't want to like just completely badmouth it. Which 90% of the time, I would say 95% of the time, somebody sends you a machine, there's some good in it. It's not a piece of shit, right? Like like it might not be great, like but it's functional, and a lot of times, like I can rationalize it to like in order for like if like, hey, listen, if you want to buy this, it's not the best thing, but it's only $400. You know what I mean? Like it, like there's a like a finesse. Um, but I don't. The thing would always drive me nuts is people send me something. I'm like, this is shit, and they're like, just trying to make it better. And I'm like, I understand that you don't want me putting out this video, but this is shit. The thing that sucks is that my the the way we solve that is I just don't put out the video. So you don't get a video, you don't get like obviously horrible marketing, right? Like, oh hey Nick, the Reps X tool or whatever, just said this is a piece of shit. But you also don't get the video that this is a piece of shit. You know what I mean? So that rubs you the wrong way. I like it.
Yeah, so they want me to promote more their stuff. And the last interaction that I have with I remember his name, but was another rep there. I know that he's not working there anymore because he has some problems with preferring some influencers and some others not, and whatever happened, he got kicked out of the company, whatever. But the last interaction that I have with him was our order is not to send a machine to anyone that don't start selling it before we send it over. So, like how you are going to sell machines that you don't even try because X2 has too high quality, blah blah blah. So that's the order. That's what management
I,
told you. I mean, that doesn't make sense whatsoever. Uh,
see,
that's
my
that doesn't work for me. I can't get along with a company that want me to tell something to people that I cannot even prove that it's actually real.
my so my two biggest beefs. The reason that Axel and I are one. All right, there's three. I'm not getting into one of them. But one of them was they wanted me to sign a thing that said I wouldn't talk shit. And if you go back and watch, I would say most of my X Tool videos, I don't I don't blatantly say this is horrible, but like I point out flaws. And they were trying to get me to not do that. And I was one of their first ever affiliates. I never signed shit. So, I got a bunch of shit too, where people were like, "Oh yeah, well you signed a thing for him." Like my buddy got this, but he has integrity, and I'm like, I never signed shit. If you watch, I obviously never signed anything. But what really fucking killed me was when they decided they sent out that thing where they were chopping everybody's um commission because of because of the tariffs that hadn't even gone into place yet. Like in anticipation of that. And then if that wasn't enough of a rub, they did reach out to some people that had been making the money and said, "Oh, we'll keep yours the same." But they halved everybody's fucking commission. And I'm like, all right, wait a second. You know what I mean? See, now that's
Yeah, I talked
just shitty.
with this guy um, in it wasn't the last convention in Dallas that I went a couple months ago. I'm not gonna say the name. Is supposed to be one of the managers now here in the states. That was transferred from the headquarters from China all the way to states, but whatever. Because and I show him all the media, all the videos, and all the emails back and forth that I have for customer support that they never fix. I show him all the screenshots and everything about a couple thousands in commissions never paid, a bunch of other stuff, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna make it right." This is, I think the convention was in July. I'm still waiting to make it right.
So
So in reality, look, it's not about against them. I like their software. I use their machines. I just gotta be honest. I
I
don't
just
feel
give them
like a
away now.
company that mistreat their their influencers in whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
That way, deserve my fully support. I'll help people in the community as an actual squad, and I do the demos. And if someone contacts me about, hey, how I do this in their software, how I can do this, I'll help absolutely everyone, like I've been doing all the time, not expecting to be paid for Mextool. It's fine, and I'll keep doing it because I like the support on the community. I think we are a great community, but I'm not going to go and say like, yeah, buy a UV laser from Mextool that I never going to buy myself,
Right.
and I have no ways to tell you if it's good or not. I'm not going to say it. For me, Cone Marker UV laser is the one that makes all my money, and that's what I want to recommend. You know, it's like, okay, we're gonna start a shop at a craft. What you recommend as an equipment? I gotta be honest. HTV Rond, in this case, is a craft company. All these shelves. Let me move this at that. Let me show you here.
This is your
All these
DTI,
materials.
right?
Yes, all these materials. The majority of these materials are between Cricut and HTV Rond, like vinyls and heat stamp vinyls and whatnot that I have here, and I've been using that for a while. And then the other side we have on HTV Rond. I have all my equipment, so I reach out to them and say, "Hey, I want to help you promote a little bit more your brand because I've been using you for years, and honestly, as a crafter, I have no issues. I really don't." So I reach out when I went to China, and I get to meet them.
Okay.
So I work with them on the manufacturing plant and everything, and they get to meet how the company overall works. And
Which is
now,
nobody gets to do.
right,
Like
right.
no,
I mean,
like all of the U.S. influencers, it very rarely do you get to meet these people That sounded
That
dick.
sounded dick.
But you know what I mean? Like
But you know what I
the
mean? Like the
company
company
That
in
is
their
sending a
natural
machine.
environment.
Yeah, and
Right.
I visited when I was in China about 10 different machine companies, from crafts to lasers. And even lasers that are completely still under development and on, whatever kickstarted. And I talk with them and I say, hey, let me promote you more. What you think we can collaborate and make it better for everyone. So I want to post tomorrow a bunch of coupon codes and stuff on my YouTube channel for everyone to catch up, because there's a couple. They give me a special coupon for DTF and all that. This is like an $800 $900 off
Damn.
of their machine. This is a machine that has been like a year already out, but my entire side, right side here from the business, is mainly everything HTV run. And when I say HTV run, I used to have a Cricut sitting here. They say like, hey, you don't want to use our cutter? It's exactly the same thing of the Cricut. The software is similar. You want to give it a try? I have now, and the Cricut is back in the office. It just went to storage. You want to try our press heat press? Does this, does that, exactly like the other one that I have from random from Amazon. Now is the main one on the store. So I have an entire wall that is basically their equipment, and I've been using that to actually make money. You know,
Right.
so it's a company that saw value on me. I see the value in them because I used them for so long, and it's a company that I'm not afraid to recommend. So people say, because they don't send you free machines, you don't want to recommend. No, because a lot of this equipment I bought it out of my pocket too.
Right. Well, I mean, honestly, that's where I'm sitting with this Elegoo a little bit.
a little bit.
I
Yeah,
so I
that was a Persian machine that was
shit. Sorry.
no. I mean, it's a machine that was purchased for you. It's not like they send you a machine to do a review and you're just enjoying it. You can recommend it.
No. Okay. So now I'm gonna meet you. So friend of the show, Dave, basically was like, "Hey, listen, like I think your kids need a 3D printer. Like I think they think it was cool. He's got a ton. So he's like, I want to buy him an Elegoo, and it's like $399 or something. It's a really reasonable 3D printer. I was like, I think that's great. If you want to do that, I appreciate it and whatnot. I really thought the kids were just going to sit here and screw with it. This thing's running all the fucking time, and most of the stuff is mine. And I, it, I thought 3D printing was really cool when I had an Ender 3, but it was such a bitch to maintain that thing. This thing does all the shit. So I didn't pay for this, but I also am not endorsed by any means by it, but I think everybody should have this fucking thing in their house. If nothing else, go to printables, download free shit, and make stuff. Like it's that fucking easy. It was not that easy when I learned when I started. Why can't I unmute you? I was trying to unmute you. Uh, when I started trying, or when I started 3D printing, it was a pain in the ass. You had to clean the bed. Well, you still got to clean the bed, but you had to level it, and I had these big wheels, and it was a pain in the ass. This thing does it by himself. All right, I'm still trying to unmute you. I can't unmute you. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Ah, shit.
There you go. Yeah. So 3D printing. 3D printing for me has been great in many ways. One of my main business is based on 3D printing. But going back to the subject, what to buy for 2026? I wanna give people right now my top 5 recommendations to buy for the shop.
Uh-oh.
And see if someone wanna add something on the chat, please do. And if they wanna
Hi, baby.
paperweight. So Number one, I will recommend everyone, if you have the real estate, to get into a UV printer and the money and whatever to buy a UV printer. I can't recommend UV Make. That will be Nick. I just can't. But I recommend start looking into UV printing. Whatever machine works for you, I will recommend that for next year for people to make money. That's my recommendation number one. My recommendation number two is going to be DTF. DTF, as much as people don't understand it completely, what they can do or
You
not
guys
with
always said it on
DTF.
my channel.
What?
DTF means a totally different thing on Build That Bill than it does in Printing
Oh,
World.
yes, I know. I know. I know. Okay. I'm going to say direct to film
There it is.
for printing. So that is one of those piece of equipment that when I got it the first time was like, hey, it should be nice to have one just in case I want to print my own shirt and I need to go to events. It turns into probably the one that keeps the lights in this place actually on, to be honest. I mean, just today we print about 9 different things for people that walk into the store.
Damn.
And literally
Well, it
an
is.
hour before we went live, these two ladies, Park, came in with 4 shirts. They brought their own shirts. They said, like, can you put these on these shirts? All right, let's do it. So they walk out of the store. I have $60 in the pocket, and it's
Um,
5 years to print.
and they so UV printing again. UV makes the only thing I got. Like as far as I know, or I mean, as far as I have seen,
Right, right.
that's the next shit that you're going to be able to do that with because it's so fast.
And so that's my two first recommendations. The third recommendation I'm gonna say, get a CO2 laser
Yes.
in any capacity. CO2 laser. If you have the budget to go for a big boy and mean boy, I think Nick can hook you up with an AP laser. They have entry level size AP lasers. You need to buy that. What was the size of the monstrosity that they have?
Jeez, it's like uh 60 48 maybe 40 60. It's too big. It's the size of a fucking small car. I'm gonna let you I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I gotta check on my daughter. So I'm gonna hop out for a sec.
All right, so get a CO2 laser. Nick can hook you up with an AP laser if you guys need that. I'll personally recommend you the one I'm using, which is my Montport Reno series. I use the Reno 45 watt. If you don't buy one on Black Friday, you're missing a big discount. But if you want to steal a discount, you can put my Alive Pixel as a code and you get a discount. So we have the UV printer. We have the Garmin printer, basically a DTF. I know it's different on your channel. We have the CO2. Look into cone marker UV lasers. UV lasers are getting high in volume for production. If I do something crazy, you are looking for a UV laser, check the cone marker UV lasers. The beauty on code marker is that my code, it still works with their discount on Black Friday. So right now they have one that is like a $2,800 after you put my code, and that is the one that I use the most. So UV lasers, 5 watt, 10 watt, whatever your budget can be, UV laser is a thing that I think you should get regardless. And also, if you are still looking into lasers that are going to give you a better engrave for wood, I'm gonna say diode laser, and my recommendation is going to be Alien Cell, which is the one that AP Laser is going to be using for the main new laser that they're launching. Uh, yes, shipping to Australia killed the most, but I think Alien Cell is shipping to Australia. I know that a couple people bought lasers from Cone Marker and ship it to Australia as well. So it will be something that you can see. Prusa. So Ryan, Prusa is an amazing machine. The problem is you're paying for the name. You're not paying for the printer at that point. I would recommend you to go with a bamboo if you want like a. That's the one. That's the ones I use. The Elegoo are really good as well, but I do like the ecosystem of the bamboo printers. That's what I use for all my prints. That's what I have in my house and my little farm, and that's what I have here at the store. But those are my five recommendations. So we have the UV. I'm gonna say it again. The DTF. We have the the UV laser.
Corrective film kits.
Right? The UV laser. We have the CO2 laser, and we have the diode laser. I think with all these five things, you can run a successful shop and have enough variety to keep your customers happy. That's in my opinion. My biggest money maker is being the printer for t-shirts and all that kind of stuff because I apply for everything. That's my biggest money maker this year. Regardless of how much I love lasers, I'm making more money printing direct to film than using my lasers. That's the truth.
Oh, we talked about Prusa, right? Prusa's a really nice machine. Don't get me wrong. They're pretty and they work exceptionally well.
They just launched a new one with 8 heads.
Thing. I I run so to Daniel's point. Okay, one, the Elegoo is like a $300 or $400 machine. All right, so but I run Orca Slicer's bamboo slicer, right? I run bamboo slicer on it. I just like I cannot tell you how many problems I had. I went down like a product rabbit hole with 3D printers for a while because Andrew sent me a 3D printer and I used it and people kind of liked it. And then a bunch of people sent me a bunch of printers. And the thing was, I mean, they were all fine. I don't really have a problem with any of them. Like there was nothing that stuck out as bad about one of them. It was leveling was always a huge pain in the ass. And the other issue I had, and this could totally be like a humidity issue between Houston and where I am now in Kansas City, but I would print something on any one of those printers, any one of those 3D printers. I would print something super awesome. I would try to print it again, it would fuzz out, and I would come up to like spaghetti factory, just everywhere. And everybody's like, well, it's humidity and stuff like that. And so, but you know what? Like, I didn't want to buy a food dehydrator, put all my filament in it or anything. Like, there's too much of a pain in the ass. This thing, I've had two things fuzz out on me, and one of them was 100% my fault. And one of them I really think was the print because I printed it twice and it fuzzed out in the exact same place. And I'm like, when you're getting free prints, sometimes they're going to fuzz out because somebody didn't figure out exactly. My son was playing around on Tinkercad and he made a little figurine and he wanted me to print it out. And I went to print it out and he made the legs too thin. So when he was taking when we were taking the supports off, the legs broke too because they're thin. But 3D printer, man, you need a 3D printer. I don't give a shit what it is. Elegoo's just cheap. 3D printer.
Um, Kenny, Kenny Beans. If I can show you, let me turn my camera, and you guys please excuse the mess. But I want to turn the camera so you can see what I'm talking about here. I wanna move. Let's see where the cable of my camera goes. So this is the machine. It looks like a Cricut, okay? And I have the Epson printer here. I have their hot press here. I have their HTV run heat press, and I actually add a laser on the top so I can have the alignment and all that. I have the phone case, heat press here. I have an oven there, and those two white big things are the DTF printers. And of course, I put their logo on the top because they are this wall is completely sponsored by them, and this wall here is what is paying the entire store. To be honest, I mean, and if I put a number, if you ask me right now how much money I need to invest to have that kind of a setup there running, taking the tables out, that entire corner of my store, I'm gonna say that it's probably $3,500. Or no, I'm lying. It's about $4,500. Is I mean, it's not a lot of money.
with the DTF printers.
What?
With the DTF printers
Yeah, the DTF printers was 2,500, 2,600.
each.
Well, one was sent to me, but I bought the other one.
Okay, but
So
like so
I'm
one is
counting
about
like,
2,500 bucks.
and I normally use one unless I have like a high volume of stuff. But yeah, I mean it's not terrible if you put it on numbers that you can kind of compensate for a shop, because one
Right. No,
laser
no, no. I mean,
of a
that sounds really
recognized brand is
good.
of
That's why I was.
$8,000.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: I try to buy smarter, not just because the name and how pretty it is. But at the same time, I consider myself a power user, and I know if some things have an issue, I can fix it to some extent. But none of these things so far have any issues. The only one that I have an issue, and I'm gonna say that is mostly because I didn't leave it running like I should and things like that, is one of the DTF printers. I need to change the print head. It's completely clogged, and I can't clean it. I don't know why I'm trying, but I can't clean it any longer. But again, you have to make decisions sometimes in money for the value you're going to sell, because in all this time that I have a store for about 7 months, this equipment is not just paying the lights and keeping this open, because what I make the money with them, at the same time I can make money with the lasers and different other
Right.
stuff. So it, it's about how functional is for you. Exactly, Chris. I pay for function. That's exactly what I'm saying. Is how functional this was for me. So that's my recommendation for everyone on 2026. You need to start thinking that there are going to be a lot of changes in our economy, because the tariffs and everything, even though they say that they back up the tariffs, I'm paying a lot of money every time I order screws and stuff from China that I used to pay
Yeah. Oh yeah.
a lot less, well, just to make my jigs and my stuff. Now
Well, that's a
I'm
lot of
spending a lot
people
of
that I'm
money.
talking to. They say, hey, there wasn't really tariffs or the tariffs really got scaled back, and I'm like, but apparently not everywhere because like there's a bunch of like little tiny stuff like that that you're talking about. Same here. That I'm like, whoa, like why did this go up like 800%? you know, so there's still some shipping and bullshit stuff going on, and we don't know if that's gonna fucking change.
And goes back to what is happening in the economy, because I think the tariff. Look, I have my opinion on how tariffs can be good and can be disastrous for the country overall. I have my personal opinions about it. And you gotta understand, I've been in 26 different countries, so I see economy in different ways. But one of the things that I also understand is that a lot of the things that are happening with the tariffs is that when they raise the prices, because the scare of the tariff and the stock that they have in different businesses to sell, they raise the prices. And when they said we're going to back up on the tariffs, even though they didn't bought with a tariff, they already put the price with the tariffs that was not even
Right.
in place. And
Yeah.
now that they're backing up, the price is not really going back to what it was, it's going back just a little.
Well, that's
So
what
you're still
X-Tool did.
overpaying.
X-Tool's like, hey, tariffs, we're gonna pay like creators less, and then they like scaled it back. They're like, I didn't see him saying, oh, hey, we're gonna add a percentage back. You know what I mean? Like everybody's like taking advantage of it a little bit too. So
Yeah, but what will be your recommendations, Nick, for next year, people? I recommend diversify a little bit, add some colors in your life, and try to not look just on the big brands.
So I mean, my recommendation is this. Or my recommendations are this. One, and when I say the UV Make UV printer, I don't mean it has to be that. But I think next year you're going to see these printers and it's going to be something you need in the shop because you can put like I said, it's kind of like a Cricut on steroids, right? You can grab you can grab an image, you can do a full color image on, something within size constraints, obviously, pretty quick. And as much as everybody was bitching about ink prices, per unit is not that much. It's depending on what you're doing, whatever. But that's something that's going to be like a very easy way to personalize something. Give it a bunch of color, which is what everybody wants, and do it quick. So I say UV Make right now because UV Make is like kind of the forefront, I guess, but I'm sure as soon as the UV Make comes out, like in full production, somebody's gonna like the retro engineer it. They're gonna make another one. It's gonna look a little different. It'll do the same thing. It'll be cheaper. So do whatever with that. 3D printer. I can't say it enough. I love this little fucking thing. It's amazing. It is the dumbest smart thing I have. No, it's not even that dumb. Like it's just the fact that when I tried to get into 3D printing, there was such a learning curve. It was okay, well, you got to learn how to slice stuff and you got to learn this and you got to learn this and you got to know how to, I always said leveling, but you had to level a bed and stuff like that. This
The
thing,
the super the super tweaking, right?
yeah, this thing. So Dave brings it over. He's like, okay, let's just get it set up. I'm like, okay, great. And I'm thinking my kids are just like, I'm thinking this is my next headache, right? And he's like, okay, so first thing we do is auto level the bed. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And he's like, you auto level the bed. And the fucking thing auto levels itself. It does it itself. And
Nick, don't you miss the paper under the nozzle?
no, no, no. I can't tell you. So my thing is, I've always said this. The reason I love lasers is because I don't do anything fine. Okay. I don't do any fine tuning and shit. I'm a blunt fucking object. That's the reason I torch shit and use chainsaws. Anything fine tuning, do not like. I am trying to learn how to play guitar. I buy a guitar. I'm trying to tune it for the first time. I break the A string 3 times while trying to tune it. Why? Because I don't know how to go like this with the little tuner thing. It goes like this. And I did it a bunch of times and broke a bunch of strings. I am the blunt object. I do not do fine shit. This does fine shit. So, yeah, leveling, no. Paper underneath, no. This doesn't. So, but what's killing me too is like the slicers have gotten so much better. So now it's just like you pretty much, like I said, my kid basically drew something in Tinkercad. He made a 3D object. We did nothing. We put it into the slicer and it said, this is how it's going to slice. And it fucking printed the thing. And it printed it well. If he had made the legs thicker, it would still have legs. But it's just I don't do little meticulous shit well. So, and especially now with the fucking osteoarthritis apparently. So things that do small detailed things I need in my life.
Okay, so
You can unmute me now.
no, no. I mean, I hear you. I and I think this is because art school for me was like the little detail on the movement and this and that. It kind of worked for me on that part. But my partner here at the store, Juan, he kind of like you. He manhandle everything, you know. And I always like, dude,
Okay, wait,
chill.
I
I'll
didn't say
do it.
manhandle.
Yeah, you didn't
Jesus.
manhandle
Don't
shit,
make me
you
into
know,
a
dude.
rapist.
No, I'll do it. Uh, tools. What tools do you
Ham
recommend to everyone? Yeah, what tools you recommend everyone to have in their shop that are not related to electronics? Electronics because it's a saw and they use battery. You're not gonna be pedaling, but
All right.
what would you recommend for
You need
people,
a
man?
saw. I would say honestly, I would say like it's more expensive, but you want a track saw. Unless you're woodworking or unless you have the space to have a because even my uh table saw, I have a contract saw, like it folds up and it goes in the corner because I don't use it all the time. It just takes up space. I mean, it's great, it's cheaper. But I would say you need some sort of saw, you need a um well, you need a drill. If you don't have a drill, what are you doing here? You get a quality sander. And when I say quality, I don't mean go by Festool. I don't know where my camera is. I don't mean go by Festool or something just stupid expensive for no reason. But when you sand, sanding sucks. And when you have issues with your hands, um, shitty sanders make that worse. So invest in a decent sander. And when I say that is like again, I have a Makita sander. I don't have anything super fancy. I know people might think it's super fancy, but Festool is ridiculously expensive for no reason. Although, if you ever use one, kind of nice.
It's
Surf
like
prep,
rigid, right?
huh?
Rigid is also
Oh, oh yeah,
rigid
rigid.
is
Yeah,
like
rigid and
why
Festool
is double the price?
are surf prep. I tell you what, man, I don't. There's a reason the only people you see using surf prep are people that are endorsed by them. That shit is expensive. I am dumbfounded. I was like, you know what? I'm down with some surf prep. That it's more expensive than Festool in some ways. Just don't buy a shitty sander. Buy a decent sander. If you want to know like what a decent sander is, like it's the mid price point one. Grinder, not a grinder, but a Dremel. Need a Dremel. Uh, then it depends on what you're doing, man. Weeders, you always need weeders. If you guys don't
Get
know
a
what weeders,
good yeah, and you can get probably a good shop vac. I think a
oh,
shop vac is a
you know
must.
what?
People completely underestimate the need of a shop vac.
All right, two things. One, yes, absolutely yes. And the thing is, you don't need to go crazy on a shop vac. Um,
Mine
I
was like a
go
$39 though.
I go a little crazier because I got a lot of dust, right? So like I want like HEPA filters and stuff like that. But you don't need to do that. You just need to be able to clean shit up. Now, man, I wish I would have thought about this earlier. Giraffe Tools makes this really cool unit. It's pricey. It is not cheap. I'm letting you know now. It's 350. I think it's like $300. Um, mounts on the wall, and it has a 30-foot friggin' hose on it. Why is this awesome? Because shop space, floor space is a premium. I have two shop vacs. I have one that I use to clean stuff up, and I have another one that I wheel around that is like my dust extraction for miter saw or my cinders and stuff like that. So I have two of
Yeah,
these
that
things
the
that are
one that I
like,
move around is a Craftman.
so I got two of these things that are like this big around that I just roll around the shop. The fact that that thing mounts on the corner or mounts on the wall. Anyway, it's by Giraffe Tools, and the reason I'm telling you this is because um to make things at home. I cannot remember his Instagram. Right now, Giraffe Tools is having a like kind of Black Friday sale, but then if you use his code, you get like another 10% off. So if you're even considering it, and by the way, me saying this, I am not getting shit out of that, right? Like I'm just like it just seems like a really cool thing. But if you go during Black Friday, which is I think is already going on because it's been Black Friday since July. Um,
Yeah, most of Black Friday goes from the 20th to the 30th.
Black Friday goes from Black Friday till the next Black Friday. But if you use his code, you get another like it's either 10 or 15% off. So um if you buy the one that doesn't have the remote, which you know what I've realized in my life is I need less fucking remotes in my life. Everything I have has a remote. I have a pile of remotes. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do. I can't ever find the one I want. I don't need a vacuum cleaner that has a remote on it. So don't buy the one with the remote. Get the cheaper version, and then get you your 10% discount on that. And I'm sure he gets a nut. So I'll link all his shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think a lot of us, I think we completely underestimate the power of some extra help with basic tools. Like the shop vac. We underestimate the power of having a shop vac. For me, cleaning the pieces of the laser, just going with a shop vac really quick, especially when they get trapped in the freaking honeycomb, is one thing. Now, this dial laser, the bed is. Let me bring the bed because this is stupid.
I need no more
Like,
remotes in my life.
look at the size of this thing.
Jesus.
So it's made of steel, and this is
I thought he was
20
bringing us a pizza.
pounds. Oh, right? This is 20 pounds of honeycomb. So I'm getting tired of taking this thing out of my laser. So I need a vacuum. That's the reality. And do you remember this, like a wooden rods that you flip it and you feel everything like running out like
Yeah,
a
the
rain?
rain tubes or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that what
I
it
just put
does?
the honeycomb on the wall. You just did it. Hold on. But yeah, man. Nick, it's been an awesome night, man. Hanging out. I love
Yeah,
to share
100%.
time with you and run some bounce some ideas. Um, hey, there's only one more thing that I need to say for everyone about 2026.
Oh.
Don't buy a laser right now. I'm gonna say that yes, Black Friday deals are great, but guess what? Normally, the Black Friday deals come back in the first week of the year because they need to burn the inventory that they built.
Yeah. Yeah,
So don't try to push yourself right now
I
because
would say
you're gonna have
this.
a game.
I would say if you're going to spend money on Black Friday stuff, um, look at your mats, like materials, um, and like ancillary shit. Like I said, weeders. Like you always need weeders. I I was rolling through, and I'll put them in the description. I didn't know what we're going to talk about today. There are y'all know what weeders are, right? It's like little like things that help you pick out little pieces of lasery goodness. Um, they usually come with like crickets and stuff, but I use them all the time with keychains and stuff like that. When I was looking at stuff, just kind of seeing what's out there, all of that stuff is on these crazy Black Friday deals that are like a whole kit. Like my first weeders was literally a package of dental picks that I got from Harbor Freight. And the thing is, those are great. They're cheap. They're actually kind of too sharp for what you're trying to do. Like you want them a little duller. You don't want them to be so dull, but you don't want a point on there because you scrape stuff. Anyway, but I bought this from Harbor Freight for like I would say like $8, maybe 6, something like that, for a 4-pack. There is a set of weeders, scrapers. I think there's even a tape measure in there and shit for like $5.99. I'm like, this is stupid. One thing that I saw in there that I ordered, you know what? And you guys, you'll hear about it later, but it's a pair of weeders that have a little fucking LED light on the front of it. And you know why that's awesome? It's because I'm blind as shit. I can't
Dude,
see shit.
I need that in my life because guess what? I turned 40, and as older as I'm getting, my vision is saying like, "Yep, nope, it's not happening. It's not happening." So now I'm like, "You, I need 2 or 3 sets of glasses for whatever." I always
Oh,
forget my glasses, but yeah, no, light on the weeder will be great. And yeah, look at materials. What you just say about materials and get the deals for materials and different stuff and blanks and stuff like that, those are the things that are going to make you money because right now you are going to buy it for cheap, and as soon as holidays pass you're going to have a good stock of things to resell.
all right. One, let me pull this up. Look at that. $13. Can you see it? Or am I stupid? Okay. Look at that. 2 little weeders, LED lights on them. And I bought them today. Like, fuck off. That's so good.
Oh, I'm getting a pair. I'm gonna get a pair for me, a pair for Tess, so she can start
Right?
weeding stuff because we do it a lot. And I want to get a pair for Juan because Juan is a little older than me, and he's also like he's not with his glasses doing something, and he like, oh, I can see shit.
But okay, so I will say this. It's like I've been using some Johnson Plastic Plus, their materials. Um, so far I've been really impressed with their stuff. But like pro tip, hack, whatever. You want to try out some new things, some new ideas for possible things you're gonna sell. One, all of those companies, well, I shouldn't say all of those companies, most of those companies are running some sort of deal now. Anyway, JPP Plus is running a thing that's like a Mega 25 thing where if you go in, they have a section of stuff that's on sale. And if you buy, and when I say stuff, like laser engravable keychains and pens and laser engravable wallets or whatever, they've got sublimation and all that stuff too. I just don't pay attention to it. But all that stuff is like on sale, and then it's gets a percentage off. So um I'm sorry, if you buy X amount, it gets a percentage off. So example, I have wanted like I make keychains on my Etsy store. Kind of wanted to branch out and do maybe some like leather keychains and stuff like that. Right now, I can buy leather keychains on their website for it's like $1.30 a piece or something. I can't source and make that myself for that cheap. So, if you want to try out some new things, go if you buy like normally it's like if you buy, if you buy one, it's whatever price. If you buy 10, it goes down a little bit. If you buy 25. So
Yeah,
what I do a lot of
normally when you
times,
buy by the case, it's like super like dirt cheap.
oh yeah. But what I do is when I want to test out something, I'll go buy anywhere between 10 and 25 of them And like I said, they're like $1.50 a piece or something. I mean, and so one that allows me enough stock to fuck up. And but it also allows me enough stock to make a couple like samples and still be able to sell 10. Um anyway, so that stuff is gold right now. Anybody that's like doing that kind of sale right now, I'm like, shh, buy that up because that's where you want to like because at the beginning of the year, you know what? You're not gonna come out with a like a keychain right now that fucking slaps, right? Like it's not gonna fucking hit any algorithm or anything like that. But next year, you're gonna have some cheap ass keychains and you're gonna be able to sell the shit out of them. So, I mean, like look at that kind of thing because sometimes those guys have extra stock and they're getting rid of them. Sometimes they're not moving very well. You know what? Sometimes they're not moving very well because nobody's selling them, and if you sold them, they would move well. So
Yeah,
there's that.
man. I think material is the thing that I would recommend people to spend the most money right now. If you are looking for a new machine, we already gave you our shouts of what we recommend to have. I would probably not necessarily spend my money on Black Friday
I'm
on a machine.
100% with Daniel on that. I would not because they're gonna run. They're gonna run a big fucking deal like halfway through January. Guarantee it because sales are gonna die, and they're gonna be like, oh shit. We have a new machine we're going to put out. X-Tool, we got a machine we're going to put out in February. We got to sell our shit. So but they're gonna try to bang on inventory in January. So yeah, I would 100%. Yeah, I wouldn't buy anything big right now. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, nothing that is going to be an investment that you are going to pay in parts. I think will justify it. I think backing up yourself on materials is something that you can actually have an ROI by the end of the year and kicking up on the next year with something that you pay dirt ship and you can sell in a very good profit margins. That will be my recommendation for everyone looking into laser crafting and whatnot. There are some deals though that I feel like are very good, but it will depend on how is the budget of people and what is the urgency
See,
for
and
what you get.
this is where I have issue. Not issue. Um like I have a hard time knowing what to recommend people because right now, um, Home Depot, Lowe's, they run these like crazy specials on like tool packs. And the thing is, like, for most people, it's probably not a great deal because if you have a couple of tools, you're probably getting a couple of repeats. You know what I mean? And so they'll have like two drills and a circular saw and a reciprocating saw or whatever. And so for me, every time I see this, like, man, it's a really good deal. But I have two of those tools, so it's not a good deal for me. If you're just starting out, them's the deals, man, because it gets you like normally like the big thing now with all the cordless tools is like they're trying to get you into their battery ecosystem. So a lot of these tool packs come with like multiple batteries. Anyway, so I have a hard time. Like it was like I sit down to do like a newsletter, and I'm like, hey, look at all these deals. But I'm like, does anybody care? Like, because I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go replace all my tools, right? Like I have tools that are functional and whatnot. But yeah, man, if you're starting out, like that's the way to go. Go find like a 5 or 7 pack. Uh I would say like I'm a huge fan of Milwaukee right now. I never wanted to be a fanboy, but their return policy is stupid good. I had a problem with a drill. Um, I sent it to them. They had it for less than a week and returned it to me, and I'm pretty sure they just sent me a new drill. Um, but yeah, I like get a package deal, man. So good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Tools, get your shop like on a position that you can actually make a hole that you don't need a laser for it. So buy a drill, a drill driver, a couple sanders, like you say. I like the sander that goes with this kind of a tiny orbital, which is like a pen for small like ornament things and whatever. And then I have my 5-inch sander, circular,
What's I would say about the
orbital.
Fantic? That Fantic is pretty cool, man. Like just the idea of it and the fact that it's cordless, so good.
Yeah, I gotta definitely look into it. But I'm
Shit.
gonna go home, man. I'm gonna take my dogs out. They probably are about to just crap all over the house.
Oh yeah. So yeah, but my wife and son left already. Like I'm supposed to go watch the Grinch with my daughter.
No, shit. But man, like always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for hosting this, Nick. I really appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, brother.
And I'm sure everyone is going to hear more about us in other stuff. I've been planning a couple stuff that I've been running through Nick here and there, but I'm gonna end the night saying go go back to work.
Oh, I was gonna say fire laser.
There you go.
All right, man.
Thank you, man. Take it easy. Good to see
Take
you
it
all.
easy,
Thank you
guys.
for joining us.
Thanks.
Bye.